Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the channel. I'm Tyler Fikes. If you guys haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Anyways, today I'm driving right now. We're going to go over to the Duramax, and I talked about this in my last video. We have the PPE 3-inch downpipe for the Duramax, and I said it was 01 to 10, but it's actually 04 to 10. I'll check when I get there, but I'm pretty sure it's 04 to 10. And so it'll fit the LLY or the LBZ Duramax. It won't fit the LML and it won't fit the LB7. So if you have that, I put the product in the description, and I'm getting a lot of parts for the Duramax in the future from the store, dmaxstore.com. They have they have a really good website. So you pick, it's only for Duramaxes. You pick your year, and then it shows you everything that they have for all kinds of parts just for the Duramax, and it's totally separated. It's a really good layout, really good design and organization on the website. I like it, so definitely check it out. I will link the store below, and I will link the product, the downpipe that we are putting on. So what it does, it's bigger. I'm going to show you guys a comparison of them, but it's the same inlet and outlet size, but basically when you run down on the downpipe, it gets really crushed because they had to fit that big heat shield in there. So what this does is it has a heat shield around it. It's already wrapped, and you guys will see what I'm talking about here in a couple seconds. But so it replaces that big bulky heat shield, does the same job with a smaller, more efficient heat shield, and on top of that, it is a better shape. It's a circle the whole way versus being a circle crammed down into like a piece this thick where it's kind of an oblong, almost like an oval, a little more rectangular though shape. So it gets better airflow, better heat shield, and it's gonna make for a little bit more horsepower because we're gonna get the exhaust out quicker, and it's gonna let the turbo spool up a little more volume in the exhaust. It's gonna echo a little better. Everything is gonna be overall a better downpipe for the truck, better performance. I'm gonna go take it off right now. I'll show you guys exactly how to get it off and get the new one on, so let's start it up. All right, here's the downpipe from PPE. Same brand as, let me show you the tie rods. The tie rods that we put on right here, and I did a whole video on those too. So here it is. I haven't taken it out of the bag yet. Just opened it so it's ready to go. And you can see this is the heat shield, so I'm gonna stretch it tight from end to end. Got some pretty clean welds on it. And so this is the bottom, this is the top, and it faces like that on the truck. So it's gonna be pretty hard to get. If you guys are doing this on your truck, there's usually a big box right here. It's a resonator. And this was actually the first video I ever put that's on my channel. It's a little resonator delete, just a 2-inch cap. I got mine at Ace Hardware. It's like $5. Took a couple minutes to do, and it spools up the turbo quicker. Instead of air being trapped in here, it goes right into the turbo, which is right here. We do have an upgraded turbo on this one. It's a stage 1, and then right back here we're gonna have to take this heat shield off, and that's just a couple bolts, and that'll come off pretty easy. And I'm thinking I might actually leave it off because it leaves the turbo more exposed, and you can see it, but I'm gonna look and see if I should put it back just because of any wires. You guys will see what I do at the end of the video with that. So after I get this off, there's the whole heat shield that's tucked way back in there, and the heat shield, you come out the top, and then, so I'll show you guys once we are at that point. So here's the top heat shield that's for the turbo. I got it out. All it is 3 10mm bolts right there, there, and there on the turbo. And then it's actually extremely hard to get out. What I ended up having to do was you lift it up, push it back, and then kind of shimmy it over this way, and then I bent this whole ear in, and then kind of pulled it out like that, and then bent it back. So if I do want to reuse it, it is good. I'm gonna have to bend it and make it fit and get back in there, so it's kind of a pain. But if you're doing this and you want to keep this, it is doable, and don't be afraid to bend it a little bit because it's not that strong of metal. And now you guys can kind of see back here. Let me back up. That whole thing right there that you're looking at is a heat shield, and it is sitting on top of the downpipe. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that out, and then all you do is get the bolts off. I'll tell you the bolts once I know, and then pull it right up like this, right out of the top, and then you're good to start taking off the clamps to get the downpipe out. But before you go crazy taking those bolts out to get the heat shield out of the top, you are going to have to take the fender liner out. I already took out all the pins, so save that for later. So the tool you're gonna need is right here. I don't know the exact name of it, but it just has a little angle and it fits right in to here, and it grips down, so these start low. They grip in between that, pull it out, and then you just pull the pin right out. And on top of that, you're gonna have 9 of those to pull out. You're also gonna have one thing right here that doesn't come out. You just have to kind of wiggle around it and be careful not to break it. And then you have 3 of these that just push through that hold wires in place. You just have to pull them from the other side. So now you can see this is the downpipe we were replacing right here. So much easier to reach. And what else is gonna make this easier? I'm gonna turn the tire all the way like that because it's kind of hard to get back in there, and you do have to get up in there, and I don't want to take the tire off. So for now I'm gonna try turning it, and I think that's gonna give me plenty of clearance. Okay, so I did it really quick so nothing gets hot. Turned the engine on, turned the tire, and it is out of the way, so I can just barely go like this and get up in here. And it's a pretty tight fit. I'm touching tire, ground, and fender liner, or what used to be where a fender liner was. But you gotta get up in here, and you can kind of see, it's hard to hold the camera, but the thing right, I can zoom in on it, right there is the transmission bracket. It is 2 13mm bolts, not the transmission bracket, but the bracket that holds the dipstick, which is that tube right there. You just have to disconnect that, and that is gonna be the hardest part. You just need to disconnect the bracket just so the dipstick tube is loose, so it moves out of the way, so you can get this downpipe heat shield out. All right, guys, there are 3 10mm bolts. 2 of them are pretty easy to get, and this is actually what you're gonna have to do to get the 3rd one out. Luckily, we are not reinstalling this heat shield. The new heat shield is on the piping, so all you have is 2 clamps to put it back on, but taking off is definitely the majority of the work, and this is the one that you needed to move the dipstick bracket to get to. I'm up in the engine, I pushed it out of the way, and now you get about half a turn, and then go back down, and then half a turn, and go back down. So I'm gonna be doing this for a little bit, and then I will pull the heat shield out and show you guys the dismantled sprocket. All right, guys, so here it is. I just pulled it. It comes out this way. I had to go under that wire right there, and it came out easier than this heat shield did. And now that you got this out, so it sits like this. This one was really easy to reach right at the top. This one was really easy to reach from the bottom. This one I had a hard time even finding. I was, as you saw, pretty deep up in the engine, and I was wiggling this, and I was like, okay, I feel there's a point of connection kind of down here. So I just reached in, I'm like, oh, there it is. And if it had been like 2 inches deeper, I wouldn't have been able to reach it with my arm. So that's what you gotta do to get this one out. And now first thing you're gonna wanna do when you get this out, you're gonna wanna take revenge. You're gonna take the 3 10mm bolts, you're gonna take it outside, and you're gonna throw it away and flip it off because that thing sucked to get out. I'm glad it's out, and I'm glad we do not have to reuse that. Because the new one right here, this is the heat shield that replaces the old one, and it comes installed just with 2 band clamps. So definitely a lot better. We're not gonna have to mess with any more 10mm bolts getting that on. Now I'm gonna go get the downpipe out. All right, now that you got the heat shield thrown away, you've done whatever you want to it, you're gonna get your 14mm, it goes right on there. We're taking this off, and then we have to take this clamp off, and then the one at the top, and then this one's a little hard to do. You just gotta wiggle it around, make it fit, and pull the old downpipe out. So let me get all these bolts off, pull it out, and tell you guys how it went. All right, guys, I have great news, but first, you're gonna need this to kind of just break the seal around the ends where it's been kind of stuck on there. It came out super easy, barely tugged on, came right out that way. So you can see that's where the 4-inch exhaust hooks up, and then the downpipe goes up there to the turbo back there. So right now it is open turbo, and I kind of want to hear that. But first, let's get a comparison of the old one and the new one. So this old one definitely prevents a lot of airflow. It gets all crunched up in here for fitment issues with that big stupid heat shield that we had to take off. Look at all the coal in there. This thing would roll so much coal if we would just run an open downpipe or an open turbo like it is. I think we're just gonna leave this off and just run open turbo. But you can see this is where the heat shield mounts up with the 3 10mm bolts. So luckily this does not have to go back in. We don't need this stupid heat shield anymore because this one has a way better one. And you can see right here, it's, let me get a tape measure. It goes down to right about from the first dip is about 1 inch thick, and then the max is about a little less than 2 inches thick. So it definitely prevents a lot of airflow, where this is 3 inches the whole time, all the way through. So definitely picking up some power with that. Now I'm gonna go try to get this one in the truck. But first, really quick, we do have to hear an open turbo Duramax, basically a full straight pipe. Let's hear it. Oh my God, that sounds awesome. Whoa, the turbo's cool. Oh my God, it smells awesome. It smells like America. Oh, that sounds so sick. I wish we could have that sound come down and go out the back, but California doesn't let us do what we want. But that is definitely a lot louder, way more turbo. How many RPMs did you go to? Only 1500 RPMs, and the turbo sounds absolutely insane. I wish we could run something like that, but for now, we can't. So let's get the downpipe back up. All right, guys, we got the new downpipe in. You can see the heat shield back there, and then no more big, stupid heat shield. I haven't put the other one back on yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not, but I won't show that in the video. Along with the fender liner, I'm gonna have to get that back in, but I'm not gonna put that on video. You guys, pretty self-explanatory. You just put it back where it goes, push all the pins back in, and you should be good to go. But you can see right here, PPE has the little logo. You can see the heat shield and the bigger pipe. So now what we're gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to set you up back there, and you guys are gonna have to hear how much better this sounds. So I'm gonna set you down, start the truck, and give it some revs. And yes, I'm gonna be using a leaf blower to hold the camera up. That is so much louder. All right, guys, so I just got the downpipe finished, got it on the truck, as you guys saw and heard. And as I'm hearing right now, this thing sounds like a jet, sounds like an airplane, and I'm not even going fast yet. I'm still in the neighborhood, so I'm taking out for a little drive, maybe get some audio clips for you guys, and then I'll tell you what I really think after getting a drive. Oh my God, that turbo. After getting a drive with it, hearing it, seeing if it performs any better, seeing if any more smoke comes out of the back, which this is 50 state legal, so it's legal in California. So for some, it doesn't change the emissions, it's just better airflow, getting the exhaust out of the turbo. So I'm gonna go hit a road where I can go a little bit faster, and I will see you guys there, and you guys will hopefully hear the turbo spooling up like crazy. All right, guys, so I did a lot of driving with the truck. I already had filmed an outro. If you guys can tell, my hair is now cut. I just went and got a haircut. I filmed an outro. I was looking at the video, and I was like, what the heck? I was turning up max volume. There was no audio on the whole outro, so I missed a lot of footage, so I'm having to redo that right now, and I'm just explaining that for any of you wondering, wait, wasn't his hair long at the beginning of the video? So anyways, you guys can hear it right here. It's loud. It's definitely louder. So this project went really easy, super easy install. Took me about 2 hours, and I was messing around with the camera the whole time, and you know, not totally all focused 100% on the project. I was doing other stuff as I was going, making the whole video out of it, showing you guys exactly what to do. So if you guys have a Duramax, LLY, or LBZ, I definitely recommend doing this downpipe. It was only 130 bucks. Link is in the description where I got the downpipe. And it just makes so much more turbo noise. And then on top of that, I have the resonator delete that gives it that more turbo spool. So if you guys haven't seen that video, it's actually one of my much better videos, view-wise. Got a lot of views on it, and it was my first video that's on my channel. So go check that out if you guys have a Duramax and you want to delete it. It's like a $5 part at Ace Hardware you can get, and that made a difference too. And it's the resonator delete thing I was talking about in the engine. Gets air into the turbo quicker, gets rid of the thing where you can't hear it. It makes the turbo spool a little louder, and I don't really notice much more power. It does feel a little bit peppier, a little quicker on accelerations. that does have a lot of restriction, as you guys saw in that piping. It goes down to like 1 inch thick to get all that exhaust out. So definitely more volume, and it's definitely making the exhaust louder. It's louder with the regular noise, but the turbo spool is definitely much amplified. I hope you guys can hear it, because it really sounds awesome. It's definitely a louder sound. So if you guys are looking for that louder sound and you want to be CA legal, I definitely recommend getting this PPE 50 state legal downpipe. Sorry the camera's a little shaky. I don't have my mount, so I'm just holding out with my arm right now because the mount is in my truck and we are in the Duramax right now. My truck is the single cab Sierra with the tire gate. If you guys haven't seen it, if you guys are new to the channel, go check it out. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys found it helpful in any way, please give it a big thumbs up. If this is your guys' first time stopping in, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time, see you guys later.